Hello there. So, professionally, I'm into IT and telecom, and personally, for my life, I'm a spiritual scientist and explorer. So, my effort today is to make you realize this topic. We create our own realities. So, which is not taught in traditional schools. So, my effort is just to make sure that you realize that we create our own realities. So, friends, let's start with this. How many of you think that you're breathing? Are you all breathing? Right. So, I see some hands going up. So, we're still not sure. So, while we think of breath, right, did you just realize that you're breathing? You're taking it for granted, isn't it? So, it's happening all the way, all the time. From the time you're born in this body until you vacate this body, the breath is always with us. And when you raise the hand, it's a choice, right? Whether you want to raise or not, it's a choice. So let's park this for a while right now. So every reality begins with a thought, and every thought gives rise to a reality. Like, let me take a just an example. Like, I asked everyone to raise your hand. So the body is a slave of the mind over matter. So the moment I said raise your hand, so you stuck your idea, your thought into your brain, and then a few billion cells work to make your hands go up, right? And similarly, like say I give you an example, I want to make a chai or tea, right? The first thing we make or to begin to make chai is that you create a thought that as I want to make a chai, and we never wonder that what if it becomes soup or sambar, right? When you start with chai, even if there is no water, there's no tea leaves, there is no sugar or milk, it will always come back later, right? But the intention, the first seed that you sow, is that you want to make a chai. So at the end of the process, what you get out of that is you pour a freshly brewed tea into the cup, right? So that's how the reality is shaped, my dear friends. Every moment, every thought converts into reality. So it's just that the seed to the manifestation is just a short cycle. Similarly, there are various realities that we create, which are long cycle and a short cycle and mid cycle, right? So let's start about how our thoughts shape into reality, and also it creates the pattern and the destiny. Like, when you want to find people who are deceased, where will you find them? You find them in a hospital, isn't it? So if you want to find people who want to learn dance, you find in a dance school. You won't find people dancing in the hospital, right? I'm merrymaking like that. So if you want to find people who are having food, you naturally find them in a dining hall or in a restaurant, isn't it? So that's how, when we decide, like, to be like this or be like that, we end up into a particular pattern and a particular destination there, right? So we all have come and assembled here that, it's like a cloud, coming from somewhere else, and it's perfectly rained here, right? So everything has a particular pattern and a particular address here. Like say, um I have a habit of becoming very, very angry and have a anxiety pattern, right? It affects your stomach, right? And you will end up getting into diabetic state, or you end up into hyperacidity, acid reflux, or gastritis, and things like that. Like, when you talk too much, over express you, and keep chattering, 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 so it's affect your the throat, and you end up into thyroid symptoms, right? So if at all you want to solve that, the best thing is to you get into silence, you speak less. So friends, every cell is completely controlled in the body because of what we think and what we release as a command to the body. Every cell can be monitored, every cell can be controlled, just because what we are thinking is converting into reality, including the blood flow. The moment you get a panic attack, you can die on the floor just like that. And the hormonal changes can be so eruptive that it can make any chemical imbalance in the body, my dear friends. So today it's a world where, wherever we see, there are panic attacks, there are anxiety, strikes, and then we have, the cardiac arrest, there are depressions, and all this is happening because everyone is creating this sort of a thought process now. So then it ends up into a problem and a pattern, and then they end up into a destination. Like if a person is thinking always of health, naturally we'll find them in a yoga school or a jogging track or making a sport, playing a sport, and things like that. So similarly, a hospital as well, right? So friends, it's very important for us to understand that we have to be mindful about every single thought that we generate in our mind, and it's like a seed, right? So let's come to the real mechanism, what's happening and why it happens, how it happens. Like if you see in this screen, you have a seed, and when you sow a seed, it naturally turns out to be a sapling and then into a tree, right? It gives rise to a lot of fruit. Like if you sow mango seeds, will you get Karela or bitter gourd? What do we get? It's only mangoes, isn't it? So you cannot expect that, I always think about negativity or failure and expect success. Is it possible? Because you've sown negativity or you've sown, failures, then definitely on the overself, outside world, you just want to say, I want to be successful. But it's just not going to happen, because whatever you're sowing is just the fear, the insecurity, deficiency syndromes, all these things, and then you expect that it's to be success. And mind you that when you sow one mango seed, will it just give you one fruit? Not really, right? Just you can see a whole big tree in a seed. Can you see a tree in a seed? So when you sow one mango seed, it gives you hundreds and hundreds of fruits, and it keeps giving. Similarly, do you wonder, if I sow a thought as a seed in my mind, will it give rise to so many results? So I'll come back to again the same story, right? One person is being fed mentally that, your father and mother, everyone had many friends. They had diabetes, they had heart, they had thyroid, they had, arthritis. So you be careful. It may strike you as well. So one person think, okay, maybe yes, I may get a strike of diabetes because my heredity, right? So then there are two signals that comes, right? One signal is internalized. That means your body says, okay, Baba, I'll become diabetic. It's like sowing a coconut tree, right? Coconut sapling. After 7 years, it gives results. And then there is a wireless signal that goes into the world, and that is actually sending the signal to the whole world. And there is an investor coming to invest on hospitals. There is a factory which is manufacturing the syringe for you, and there's an insulin factory that develops the insulin. And there are a lot of other businesses that get developed into this. So just imagine, just one card, the whole universe responds to you, and the body prepares for you, right? So that's how this pattern works, and including the relationships. Like you may want to be very friendly on the overself, but you always, nurture hatred or conflict to another person, right? You wear a green color, naturally you beam green. Whatever you want to say that I'm red, it doesn't really work that way. So relationship makes or breaks depending on what you wear mentally, right? So it's very important that we are also generating the pattern. The mind is like a continuous weaving machine, and the thoughts are those design patterns that you want to feed, and we are weaving and creating our own life, right? So friends, we are naturally living in an environment where a person generates about 5,000 to 50,000 thoughts, depending on what type of nature and how we are into the upbringing, right? And the world and the nature is perfect. Today, all this, the so-called as 7 billion people generating this many thousands of thoughts, what are we creating? It's a thought pollution we are creating. 99.9% are unconscious thoughts that we don't want to create, but we create it. It's like a farmer who doesn't know what seeds he's sowing and just say, okay, grow, okay, grow. He doesn't know what he's sowing. So humans have become reckless creators without knowing what we are creating, my dear friends. So that's where it's creating global terrorism, it's creating insurance companies, it's creating hospitals, it's creating ammunition industry. So anxieties, disorders, and all these things, uh, pharmacy is growing. Why? Because we, as an individual, we don't know we have to create things responsibly. We have to be mindful of every single thought which is sown as a seed in our body, in our mind, in our body, in our external environment. So, what's the solution? This is also my story. Then I met this great master, my mentor in this lifetime, Brahmarshi Patriji. He is a great spiritual scientist, who gave me this tool of meditation, right? And he taught me this science. What happens actually for a normal person is that, it's a traveling mind. The nature of the mind is like a monkey, you see. It cannot sit at one place. It is never in the present moment. Like, you might be sitting physically here, but you might mind be traveling there somewhere else, right? In the past or in the future, right? And mind you, wherever my attention goes, that's where the energy flows. That's where the reality shapes up, right? But we become so unconscious, unaware that, my mind is not in the present moment at all. Where the present moment is where we are creating. The reality shapes up now. And I was also into a lot of problems like this, where the anxiety, the disorders, worrying about tomorrow or regrets about the past. What are those? The memories. It's just that if I would have done that in the past like this, then I would have been better. If just that that person would have helped me 10 years before, I would have been like this. So the mind keeps going to the past or the future. So what's the solution, my dear friends? Is again coming back to my first question, are you all breathing? So if I become mindful of my breath, the breath mindful meditation, okay, the breath is always happening in this moment. Whether you are happy, unhappy, eating, sleeping, angry, in coma, the breath is always with us. So if I just befriend the breath, then you are already in a meditative state. That's called dhyana, right? And then it's like meditation is like shower to the mind. We take shower to the body, right? Every day we think that, physically I should look nice. But what are you wearing mentally? There's a lot of garbage in here. So if you can take shower to the mind, giving time for yourself, mental housekeeping. It's like, why am I talking about Six Sigma here? In corporate world, we talk about Six Sigma black belt. But if you become Six Sigma black belt mentally, that means to say, if you are not aware just one thought in a million thoughts, then you are enlightened. You are a Buddha already, right? So we should talk about the mental housekeeping, my dear friends. The lean of minds, the lean of thoughts, the lean of, maintaining a success mentally. That's more important than your physical hygiene. When you do a mental hygiene, you know automatically how to maintain your physical hygiene, my dear friends. So it's about starting somewhere, isn't it? So I urge you to begin with gifting 1 minute of every birthday that you have celebrated for yourself. Can we not do that? If I am 30-year-old, I am most important person in my life, and I have to give time for myself, for my own. Like, because if you close your eyes, your world vanishes. Your mama, mami, dada, dadi, bacha, bachi, sab gaya. So if you open your eyes, then your world starts. So you are the center of your universe. Most important person in my life is me. Take care of yourself and then help others, right? Okay, be selfish and then become selfless, right? So that's where it is to start with. And then I have been practicing this from the last 1.5 decade. So very passionate about teaching this technique everywhere, wherever we go, the breath mindfulness meditation. Simple thing is give 1 minute of every birthday to yourself every day, mental housekeeping, mental shower. And then you see anytime, anywhere meditation. ATM is anytime meditation. Okay. AWM is anywhere meditation. EOM is anyone meditation. As long as you are breathing, you can meditate. If there's no breath, it's holiday for you, right? So, friends, There are innumerable benefits of this so-called the dhyan. There are millions of benefits, but it's like the Brahma Sutra for anything and anywhere. Any problem that you have, you can contemplate, you can meditate and solve your real life situation problems. So then, just to name few, which is just a shame on in the name of dhyan, is that you can solve any mental and physical disorders. You can heal yourself, and your immunities can boost up. Your mental skills will improve. Your absence is created, converted into a constructive energy, right? Because the more thoughts you have, right, the more drain of energy that you get, automatically you will crumble under a lot of unknown thoughts like that, right? So every day, if you conserve the energy by reducing the density of the thoughts, from reducing from thousands and thousands of thoughts to only one thought that you want to create, it's like sowing a seed and removing all the weeds. So whatever the water and manure you give, it will nurture the tree that you want to bring up. So, but the problem is we have so many weeds in our mind, the so-called the plowing in the mind, that all that we do is sucked up by the weeds, the distractions, the negativity, all the insecurity feelings. So but when you remove all of this, just that you the moment you think, the manifestation happens just like that, the magic. It becomes effortless living. That's what I'm experiencing today, that I'm passionate about teaching and taking this message back to the world. So friends, you know I leave you with this, the final message, that we all are creating, but what is this tree called as? Can you name what tree is this? We don't know. What do you name? Is it a mixed fruit tree? So be mindful of every single thought, because everything is accountable, like in a bank passbook. Even if it is a 50-year bank account, the balance today is nothing but a sum total of all the transactions we have done. And what I am today or what you are today is nothing but the sum total of all the thoughts that we have sown so far. And breath mindfulness meditation is a way to become a conscious creator, right? A conscious Srishtikarta. So I urge and invite all the human race to be conscious creators, and don't be irresponsible, reckless parents who doesn't know who their kids are and where they are or how many they are. So we are wondering. So thank you very much. I leave with this thought for all of you. Namaskar.